What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite New York Jets subscription podcast, Badlands. Initial reaction episode. The New York Jets are back on Hard Knocks. We've been speculating about it for months. It's officially official. The best show to come on HBO since the Sopranos ended. I'm not counting Game of Thrones because I have the finale.
Count the leftovers.
Count the leftovers. We love the leftovers here at Badlands. It's a deep cut, but a great show.
It is a deep cut.
Also, Succession, very good as well. But anyway, the Jets are back for the first time since they went to the AFC Championship game with the best season of Hard Knocks ever, I would argue, in my biased opinion. Connor, how you doing? How you feeling? Initial thoughts and reactions to the New York Jets being back on Hard Knocks.
It's exciting, and it's not just more content that we get to do, reacting and seeing even more behind the scenes without the, we've talked about this before, the work they do on One Jets Drive, which I believe is a award-winning series now, is unbelievable. Like, you could tell the amount of time they must spend shooting and editing and the access, and but at the same time, the difference between a team-branded series and a, what should we call it, like third party?
Yes.
There's stuff that they'll get that they're willing to show that the team wouldn't make it through the team filter. And I think there's stuff about that that's exciting. So, and I'll say this, as just a fan of, not only sports and television and media and all of that, Hard Knocks has not had a lot of juice, honestly, in recent years. It really hasn't. I don't say that just because that the 2010 one was awesome because it was the Jets. I mean, I think everybody thought it was awesome. Like, you had Rex Ryan, you had a loaded team, you had a team that had storylines and a lot of sound bites. And I think this Jets team, while they won't, replicate that team, like energy-wise, because I think they carry themselves a little differently under Saleh than they did under Rex. There's a lot of exciting stuff here. I mean, and it's not just Aaron Rodgers. As much as Aaron Rodgers is, a big reason to tune in, you have young, exciting players that are wildly professional beyond their years. Like, you don't ever have to worry about Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, right? They're just such smart guys. They carry themselves like a 10-year vet. But we'll get some funny things. Like, Carl Lawson is an awesome dude to listen to. We're probably going to get Michael Clemens, maybe 8 words out of him, but Debo. A lot of airtime. Yeah, Debo. Yeah, doesn't Saleh call him that?
Yes.
That's just unbelievable, by the way, that he calls him that. Man, this is a fun team, and it'll be a cool look behind the scenes. And I'll tell you what, like, the underlying factor is, how do the Jets react to this, right? Because we know how vocal they've been to not do this. Now, you have a lot of guys that are so confident on that roster that it doesn't really change things for them, and they'll carry themselves how they would, whether those cameras are in the building or not. But it'll only create more hype for the Jets, I think. And it's, you know what, Joe? The Jets we always say, like, the Jets are relevant again. And that's something I'm not going to complain about.
Yeah, I'm fucking excited, and I've been saying this for a while. Like, it's cool as a fan. I want as much access as I could get. I want more and more content. I want to see the different personalities that we may not get as much time with. You'll learn more about the full roster. You'll get to see in the coaches' rooms. We'll probably get some great Ron Middleton quotes and speeches, which will be entertaining. You'll get to see Martini Nate out there and all the weird antics that he has. Like, you'll just get a better feel for the team. And I've said this before, I don't buy into this being a negative distraction that will impact their performance on the field. I use that from the Jets' own history. The best season they've had in the past 13 years was when they were on Hard Knocks. It was not a distraction, did not prevent them from being good that year. The Lions are coming off their best season in probably the last 10 years, coming off of Hard Knocks. These guys are always on camera anyway. There's cameras always around. That's how they are covered by the team. It's how they are covered by all the different types of media that are out there. Yes, it's a few more people, and yes, there'll be some different talking points that come out of the 5 or 6 episodes that they do. We'll see what the final total is with the weird timing of the Jets training camp. But these guys are pro athletes in 2023. There's coverage everywhere. Yeah. They're pros. And this is, of course, the NFL picked the Jets. All the owners agreed to these parameters that left the pool being 4 teams. Washington, for a gazillion reasons, of course, they're not going to do Washington.
But they wanted it.
Yeah, they wanted it. But, of course, the NFL is not going to do Washington. I don't think we need to articulate all the reasons why they won't be doing them. The Saints, Derek Carr put me to sleep. Come on. we're not. What are we doing here?
Personally, wouldn't care, but they have a big fan base, so yeah. Personally, wouldn't. I don't. Yeah. I don't need the Bible verses and the rah rah.
We don't need that. And then you have the Bears, which would have been really interesting. I think the Bears were
just
as vocal, and not really wanting to do it as the Jets. But far and away, the Jets are the most interesting team to cover for this. They just got Aaron Rodgers. They have the longest playoff drought in the NFL. They acquired this Hall of Fame quarterback who is looking to do what Tom Brady and Peyton Manning did, and Matthew Stafford with their second team.
And to do what Brett Favre couldn't.
Do what Brett Favre couldn't with the Jets.
It's a big thing for him.
Yes, certainly has an interesting personality and has already taken a leadership role in the team. You have both the offensive and defensive rookie of the year coming back, one of whom in Sauce Gardner is quickly becoming one of the top faces in the league to market the league. You have guys like Breece Hall and AVT coming back from injury. You have a first-round pick looking to prove himself where everyone was kind of surprised by the pick and maybe a little unsure of it. You have the whole Packers to Jets train with Lazard and Cobb here and Billy Turner and Hackett here to go with Rodgers. Saleh is going to be great when you get the clips of his running the meetings and running the practices. I could go on and on and on. And I'm not saying this as a biased Jet fan. Even as a third-party NFL fan, you would be interested to see all this stuff. Never mind the Quinnen Williams, hopefully coming off a huge contract. Never mind C.J. Mosley as one of the best linebackers in the league over the last 7 or 8 years. I could go on and on and on and on. There's other behind-the-scenes storylines. What are some of the other deeper cut storylines that you're excited about?
I think some of the guys, personally, from Douglas's first draft that haven't worked here and are now in true do or die camp mode. And obviously that's headlined by Mekhi Becton because Becton has been very vocal publicly about his, I don't know if it's lack of trust or he wants to play left tackle. He has had some friction with the Jets organization, notably coaches. He's been hurt for 2 years. They've added a lot of offensive linemen to the room where nothing is given anymore. To the point where they signed his replacement at left tackle, but there's also a lot of guys that can play right tackle. But he's also a wildly talented human being and a massive human, I think. And he's also somebody that, even when healthy, has had the spotlight on him sometimes for the wrong reasons in camp. I remember the year he got hurt against Carolina, week 1. I remember that summer following the tweets of the beat. I remember he couldn't block Lawson, and they had to basically pull Lawson out of practice because they couldn't run any plays. So, I mean, it's a huge storyline. It's a huge storyline. So, and then Denzel Mims, the second-round pick that year, where, unlike Becton, Mims' success or lack thereof this season doesn't really matter. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. If he stinks in camp and my guy Jason Brownlee makes it over him, cool.
Badlands zone.
If he's good in camp, makes the roster, and he's the 6th wide receiver, okay, been there, done that. But I mean, it's still interesting to watch because that was the second round pick in your first draft. So I think that's where those storylines will be, notably on Becton, because unlike Mims, his success or lack thereof could be a giant variable on this team.
Yeah, I feel like you just go on and on here where there's a lot of interesting camp battles. It's an intriguing, deep rookie class. You got guys like DJ Reed who have been a great free agent signing and have immediately taken a leadership role in the team. On the other side of the ball, you have CJ Uzomah in a leadership role in the team. You'll have the Tippmann-McGovern battle for center. Tippmann's, of course, got great hair, so we're going to see that. You see all the rookie hijinks that come for that class. It's going to be interesting. And as a fan, it's just that much more insight and relevancy around a team that for the first time in a long time, over a decade, has expectations to be a playoff team and to be a serious contender. And that's why the league is interested in covering them. And as a fan, you'll appreciate and enjoy this content as it's coming out. You're going to watch every episode. We're going to watch every episode. We're going to react and cover every episode. Hopefully we get featured on an episode. We probably won't, but we're going to keep it out there until HBO does it.
Yeah. Hey, if they want to throw SMY pre and post on there or Badlands or whatever they got to do.
there.
Yeah. Great.
So for a Jet fan, this is such a unique and better situation.
They should film the watch party, by the way.
They should film the watch party. August 26th, New York City.
Maybe we'll wrangle that.
I like that. I like that idea. We're going to hopefully be announcing all those final details this week. Great venue. We're fired up. It's always great to hang with everyone in person. This news, again, I'm excited. It's not a surprise. I feel like it's been headed this way since like April. It was just a matter of when it was going to get announced. Who knows why it exactly took so long. It will make camp that much more entertaining and fun because while we all get very excited about the preseason games, like it's a long 6 weeks. And those games, like there's going to be a lot of reps played by a lot of players who really aren't going to make an impact on this team. So to have some of the training camp juice in between all that time in Florham Park, go back and watch some of the clips of 2010. Remember how good the Jets were that year. Remember how many fun clips and moments you got from that season that kind of goes with the overall story and narrative of how good that team was, and look forward to it. And I think as a Jet fan, get pumped about this news. And if this team can't handle the distractions of cameras, they're not going to be able to handle the distractions of expectations of making the playoffs and knocking Buffalo off in the AFC East and going toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. So I think they'll be up to it. I'm not changing my record prediction because they're on Hard Knocks. I'm still sticking with 11-6. Yeah. And that's it. Any final words or thoughts, CR?
I think fans will really enjoy getting a firsthand look at Robert Saleh's interactions with players compared to – it felt like that was definitely a horrific spot with Gase and definitely kind of a weak spot with the Bulls staff, where I think you'll get a feel for why this locker room is unified and plays for Saleh and – why guys sign here, right? I mean, truly, guys sign here because of Saleh now. And hopefully Quan does that again, part 2, soon. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think our reactions to it are going to be awesome. Like the fact that we might almost need a podcast that is just the Hard Knocks recap because how much time? You might have a 3-hour podcast during the week at that point.
This is, a pod a day every day because there's something to talk about every day. That's why we're expanding the team here. We got Dan on.
That's right.
Jake and Connor.
Seriously.
We got to keep going because there's going to be a lot to talk about. So check out everything else in the feed. We'll be busy. Good to do our first initial reaction pod. A little practice before the Hall of Fame game initial reaction pod. Also stay tuned for more watch party information this week and a bonus episode on the feed this weekend. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will talk to you soon.